Morning, friend. It's great to see you.
Hey, buddy, how are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great. I always look forward to our conversations. It's been fun keeping up with you over the years. Where are you at this week? Are you on the road? Or are you home?
I'm out. I'm on the road. Humankind just launched the latest for our product line. You know, we got the water, the tea, the lemonade, and now just hot off the presses, orange juice and apple juice
Oh,
in
wow.
this sexy little 10-ounce bottle. I'd love to take credit for the idea for the look, but that was an idea of one of our teammates years ago.
Hmm.
And so you'd have to be, I don't know. I don't know how many hundreds of millions of dollars you'd have to be making as a beverage company to have your own bottling facility. So we're not there yet. So that gets outsourced, and that means at least in the first several runs, you want eyeballs on it while it's happening. So
Makes sense.
we go into 600 cafes now all over the Middle Atlantic region, and cafe owners don't want to have something that looks store bought. They want something that looks distinctly theirs, and so. The idea for the OJ and the AJ came up years ago. We finally had the means in the window to do it, and it's taken off. It's doing great.
Yeah. Well, you and I have become friends over the last many years.
You're a
Got to know
good friend,
you
buddy.
well, and you've been a great friend to me, and it's been fun sort of celebrating the success of your team. As you all have been sort of the little engine that could, having no consumer product experience whatsoever, and then putting together this ragtag team of folks that would just believe that they could, and you end up winning Walmart's very first Get on the Shelf contest. And we won't go into all that because you and I have had conversations in the past, and people can find those on our YouTube channel. But give us an update on where Humankind is, because I know you've grown and grown and grown, and organically and by way of acquisition, which is super exciting. So catch us up on what's going on with Humankind, both on the business side and then on sort of the philanthropic side.
Sure. So the biggest barrier to break through, I would say, was that $1 million barrier, and that was unbelievably difficult, and just felt like we were banging our heads against that ceiling for the longest time. And when that $1 million barrier finally came, the next year came COVID. And so we took this huge dip. And I told my business partner in 2020, if you somehow get us back to $1 million again this year, that will be a bigger accomplishment than getting us there the first time. And we did it by God's grace. We beat the previous year by like a nickel, and then once we broke through that, it's been off to the races ever since. And we're probably on pace now to be a $10 plus million company this year. So it's been exciting. It's been a very, very long road, and you've been there alongside it with us the entire way. It's been a huge blessing.
Yeah. Talk about the organic growth versus the growth that's come by way of acquisition.
So the organic growth is knocking on the doors of cafes. We're not opposed to retail, but that is a tougher road. You get a yes from retail 8 months later, along with all of the build back expenses. You get a yes from a cafe owner right there on the spot. And if they say yes to your water, your tea, your lemonade, your orange juice, and your apple juice, that's the only yes you need, and you're the only yes in town, and you're not on a shelf along with 40 other brands. And so that has been strategically a great way for us to go. And so we hit singles. We don't hit tons of home runs. We connect on a few, and those are wonderful, but we hit singles. We're, I don't know who's a big single hitter. Rod Carew, Pete Rose. I don't know. Pick one. But that's what we try to do. So we made an acquisition this past year, which was wonderful. We had the opportunity to get a company, online retail company called Serious Sips. and they had a whole lot of successes in other areas and did not want to continue with that. And we're winding it down. Serious Sips, whereas we deliver in our vans to a 6-state region in the middle Atlantic, they ship everywhere to the entire lower 48 and beyond. And we thought that was a great 1-2 punch for us, because now we could get cafes all over the United States. Now, obviously, not everything ships well, but we have a lot of items in our warehouse that do ship well. And about half of those recipients are cafes, but half of them are just individuals and consumers who want to make their kitchen into their cafe, and we're able to sell them some stuff. So the dollar ring on every sale that we make is a little lower, but there's a lot more of them. And again, the 1-2 punch of being able to commingle products that we've had in our warehouse for years, maybe 30% of them that Sips never offered, and likewise 30% of Sips products we had never offered. So just commingling those two alone would probably be an additional $1 million in revenue for us. Very exciting stuff.
Yeah. We like you because you're a consumer product entrepreneur. We love you because of the philanthropic work that you've done. Your business was born out of heartbrokenness. Tell us a little bit about that story and talk about the philanthropic work of the organization today.
So all of Humankind was born as a bottle of water with the intention of giving 100% of the net profits of that, the sales of that water, to folks around the world that didn't have clean drinking water.
They're drinking poison. It wasn't just unclean; it was poison.
It's unbelievable. I mean, the one horrible anecdote that I share is seeing a mom and her kid. This is before I was doing it at all. I was traveling for other purposes. There's an organization called Compassion International. I was with them, and this mom had a baby bottle in her hands, and what was inside looked like chocolate milk. And I said, "Oh, please, God, tell me that that's chocolate milk she's feeding her kid." And of course it wasn't. It was the only water that she had access to. But not just somewhat unclean, it was nasty. I mean, it's water that any American would certainly consider as sewage. And it hit me really hard. I was like, we don't need to invent anything new. We don't need to come up with any new technologies whatsoever to get every man, woman, and child on the planet clean drinking water. We just have to care enough, and we have to spend enough. And so we just crossed over. This is hot off the presses as well. 300,000 people that we have gotten clean drinking water. I'm not trying to break my arm, patting ourselves on the back. I give all the glory to God, but boy, I'll tell you what a slog it's been. And we started a foundation to run alongside the company called the Kind Human Foundation, so that anybody that wants to can make a donation and get a tax deduction, and 100% of that will go to the field. So I'm looking forward to it as we speak. I am 1 month away from leaving for India with the team. We've done these trips fairly frequently. COVID obviously shut that down, and now they're reviving, but really, really looking forward to flying into Chennai and getting some clean drinking water to some of our friends in India.
Yeah. If people are interested in getting involved somehow, making a donation, where can they go to learn more?
So our entire story is at the website behumankind.com, behumankind.com. And very intentionally, not accidentally, we put a donate button as big as a bread box right there in the corner. And anybody who's interested in making a donation can do that. And you can see the stories and the life change of many of the recipients.
Yeah, very good. Well, we are gathered here today, Mr. Foltz, to talk about.
We are gathered here today.
Yeah, to talk about a new community that you are so graciously helping us create on our platform. It's called Built from Scratch, and it's really all about coming alongside consumer product entrepreneurs who are where you were, and so talk a little bit about that and what your vision is for that community.
Well, it's exciting. You hear statistics like I don't know what they are for on every CPG product out there. I didn't hear these statistics before I started, or I might have chickened out. But the statistics are that 94% of all new beverages will get one and only one run at the
Mm.
bottling facility.
Mm.
One run, 94% will only get one run because they overestimated how easy it would be to get people to like their drink, or they underestimated how long it would take to get on the shelf, or they underestimated how much it would cost to get on the shelf, or a whole host of reasons that can kill a company. And there's lots of fine products out there that they
Yeah.
just don't know all the paths to getting there. And then Matt, of the 6% that survived that first year, half of them are gone
Mm.
before the end of year two. So 3% of all new beverages get into a third year ever.
Yeah.
Wow, like how does anybody survive? And then when you factor in that some of those ones that are successful have millions upon millions of dollars behind them, it just makes it a razor thin margin of those who are able to be successful. I think beverage is unusually
Yeah.
difficult, but
Well,
it's tough in all of CPG. And
yeah.
I would love to have conversations that help people negotiate some of those landmines.
Yeah, the late Dr. Clay Christensen from Harvard University, his research said that that 80% of new products fail, and so I think it's not 94, but 80% is still a really, really high number. Yeah.
I don't disagree with Mr. Christensen's statistics, and honestly, some of the products that fail are situations that nobody could have foreseen and could not have been avoided. But in some cases, knowing what's coming ahead of time can increase your chances exponentially. And so that's
Yeah.
part of what I want that conversation to be, is other folks have stepped in landmines and survived, and they may be able to reroute others to either know that it's out there, avoid it, or figure out how to prepare for it.
Yeah. One of the things I like so much about you is it's not that you've got it all figured out. It's that you're passionate, you're curious, and you're committed. And I think one of the things that's so exciting about this new community is it's not about you teaching everything that you know. There is going to be, a sharing of best practices and insight and so forth. But it really is sort of the power of that community, that tribe, if you will, people that can come together, share their own stories, interact with those conversations live, and a great opportunity where iron can sharpen iron, as we like to say. And maybe even the potential of sharing, resources, making introductions. If you know a manufacturing partner, a packaging partner, sales representation, partners, it's just a great way to create community within the community where a rising tide lifts all ships.
I was at a coffee trade show. We go to those all over the country now because, our main customers are cafes. And I sat with a young lady named Grace Chen, who started an oatmeal cup called Milk Labs. It's in these pretty little pastel colors and geared towards the female buyer. And she started this thing from scratch. She actually worked previous to that as a model and was known sort of, for her style and for her pretty face and all of that. And she was really frustrated because it was not lost on her that people thought that that's all she had, that's all she was a pretty face. And she is one sharp cookie, and she just wanted to get out of, she just wasn't enamored with that thing anymore. And she saw a niche for a ready-to-eat breakfast cup, and she made beautiful packaging, and she hit the ground, and she hustles, and she's got just a lot of pluck. She won't take no for an answer, and it's a very, very successful company. And I sat with her, and the intention was to sit for a half an hour over a cup of coffee and just chew the fat. And we talked for hours
Yeah.
just sharing the stories of, I went through that too. Oh man, that happened to me as well. Are you kidding me? What a pain in the butt that was. I can't even believe. And good people that helped you along the way, absolute weasels that tried to undercut you along the way, we looked up and holy smokes, we talked for 3 hours. I need to get back to the show, but yeah, that's what I'm hoping it can be, is that kind of conversation that anyone listening in would find some benefit.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, we're super excited to get it started. And just in wrapping up, the two things we'd love for people to do. First and foremost, go to behumankind.org.
Behumankind.com.
Behumankind.com and check out the work that TJ and his team are doing philanthropically, helping bring clean water to the world. That's the most important thing. Second thing is go to the Conversations on Retail website and under communities, click to join TJ's built from scratch community for free. And then you'll receive notifications about when we're bringing folks together to have these open and honest conversations. And again, unlike a podcast, it's pre-recorded. These are going to be live. So you have the ability to jump in and ask questions and offer your own insight and even push back if your own experience is inconsistent with what you're hearing. So TJ, thank you so much. It's been so much fun getting to know you. Obviously, you become a dear friend, and couldn't be more proud of you for what that's worth. And it's been fun watching you grow up as a business person as well, and to see you and the team begin to realize some of the fruits of your labor. So congratulations on that. And thank you so much for the investment that you're about to make in this new community to sort of pass some of what you've learned on to others and allow others to do exactly the same thing by way of that interaction. So it's great to see you. Safe travels, and we'll catch up with you again soon.
Thanks again for everything, Matt. You've been a great friend and a great support. And I hope this show is everything that you and I dreamed that it can be.
I bet it will. Thank you, sir. Have a good weekend. So long.